MyLaunchpad. That's what you're here for, right? A little introduction. I am Misty Smith. I'm the newest technology specialist on the team. I actually specialize in applications, which is why we're going to be talking about MyLaunchpad today. And I'm going to save you guys a lot of time with your kiddos and show you some tricks. Unfortunately, as a parent, you can't access Launchpad without your student. But I'm going to give you a guide. So when they are home with their devices, you can totally help them organize. It would be the equivalent of you helping them organize their notebook. You know, at the beginning of the year when you have to get all those notebooks together, and then you're like, here, you're going to put your English is going to be red, your math is going to be blue, and we're going to put it all together. Well, that was my life because I have two boys, and organization was not their strong suit. So I had to help them a lot. But that is where that is. So again, Misty Smith, I'm the application specialist, and we are going to learn about Launchpad. So our agenda today, we're going to go through what the sign-on page is because that's the biggest hiccup, especially if you're not using a Newton County device. The biggest hiccup is I can't get in my Launchpad because it's not attached to Newton County, but you can. I'm going to show you that trick. So that your child can access through any web browser, which is amazing. But that means everything that's at school is really at home as long as you have a computer or a laptop or a tablet. Most tablets and most like iPads, all of those things are accessible. We're actually going to go over the apps. We're going to go over things that you can do with your apps as far as organizing and sorting. We're going to go into edit mode and show what you can do with your dashboard, the Launchpad, and then we're going to look at your child's profile. There's a few options based on their eye and what they like. They can actually change their settings. And then there's a backpack where I'm going to show you sometimes, not all teachers, but some teachers, I've noticed it more so in the secondary world, meaning 6th through 12th. They will use Backpack to put special apps for specific classes. So we're going to visit all of those today. The one thing I want to remind you that's important when you're talking about MyLaunchpad, because if you type in ClassLink or MyLaunchpad or any of those variations, you're going to get a link that like a browser to pop up for you. The way you know you're on the right one is you'll see this icon right here. It has to have this icon that says Newton County Schools. Otherwise, it's going to give your kid a thing that says, oh, sorry, I can't find you because you're not in Newton County. So each specific school system has a special sign-in for their specific schools. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. This is the sign-in page for your student. Their username is their last name, first initial, middle initial, and then their 4-digit birthday. And then their password for elementary world would be their lunch number. It's the same for secondary, but sometimes secondary will switch theirs up based on the student. But if you notice in this right-hand corner down here, you see that logo. So you're going to want to make sure you see this logo. And the way you can make sure, if you look across the top, it's launchpadclasslink.com. Then when you put your / you put Newton GA at the end of it. That's what's going to get you to the Newton County specific Launchpad. And this is what it actually looks like when you're trying to sign in right here. So that is where the MyLaunchpad lives for Newton County. So you're going to look for, someone tell me, what are we going to look for? Just open it. What are we looking for? Come on. What sets Newton County apart? Don't be shy. You can type it in the chat too. I'm watching chat.
The logo.
Thank you. Yes, the logo. That's right. You have to find that logo. And you get that logo by typing in Newton GA at the end of the launchpad.classlink.com. Now, I'm going to exit out of this. And I'm borrowing my kids' ClassLink so that you can see what your students, this is actually my child, Connor's. I'm just borrowing his today so you can see. Now, the thing about the apps is when they go to this is called your dashboard. Can everyone see? Did everything change for you guys? Because sometimes I know it gets stuck. I don't want it to be stuck.
It changed.
It changed. Good. Thanks. All right. So this is your dashboard or your student's dashboard for MyLaunchpad. And this is where all the apps that they use throughout the day lives. It's different for K-5 and 612. It's even different from school to school because schools have the option to purchase separate apps that could help. But then there's some apps that live K-12. For instance, if your child forgets their library book, right here on Overdrive, there are a ton of great books for them to read. Almost every single school in Newton County has IXL, which is really good for working with math. Every single student has access to Book Creator, which is where they can go and create books, write. It's really nice. I don't know if you guys have signed up for Infinite Campus yet, but your student actually has access to their Infinite Campus. When they're logged in, they can click on this icon and go and see all their information in their grade book from their teacher here. Now, just a little tidbit. If your student is a kindergartner through third grade, the grade book is a little bit different, and those grade books are standards-based. Well, yeah, standards-based. So once you get to 4th through 12th, that's your, I'd say, traditional grade book where you get 0 to 100%. You get an A, B, C, D type thing. So those courses, typically, if you have a student who's 4th through 5th or 4th through 12th, you're going to see those regular grades. K through 3, you're not going to see them throughout the 9 weeks. You'll just see them right before the report cards come out. So that's a little disclaimer. So now these are, like I said, you're going to see some that are specific to students, like this is specific to secondary schools. Every child in Newton County has access to Discovery Education. So this is where we are going to start. So these are just the apps. Now, what about organizing the apps? Whenever you get in here, you have a couple options to make it easy for your child when he or she is in class. One thing you could do is you could just simply right-click on the app, and it's going to give you lots of options. One of my favorite options is to make this a favorite. So I want to see if you guys can see what happens when I make this a favorite. So watch really closely. It's a magic trick. I'm just kidding. Okay, here you go. What happened? What did you notice change? There is a star. There is, but something else happened. It's a trick of an eye. Everyone look down here.
The icon's in the bottom.
The icon came to the bottom. Good eyes. Look at that. That's awesome. That's right. So now when there's a lot of apps on here, it's really hard. You know, my teacher's like, go to McGraw-Hill, people. Get there, get there. Oh my gosh, where is it? I know it's red. Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. There's several red apps and my eye can get lost in all that. But if I know every day when I go in Miss class, I'm going to use McGraw-Hill, I can simply come and right-click on that, go to favorites, and watch what happens. It just loads down here in the bottom so that I don't have to look through all of these apps to find those heavy hitters, the ones that I'm going to go to all the time. And it's very simple to take it off. You just right-click, remove, right-click, remove. All right, how many people think that that would be beneficial for your kiddo? Right? That would make it so much easier for them to find. I know for me as a teacher, it's way, way easier for them to just click it and go because most kids are going to use Canvas on a daily basis. So if that's added to the favorites, it's going to live right here and I can go and grab it and click on it and it's going to open up for your student and they don't have to look and look and look for it. There's also another option. Let's say your student knows every day for first period, he or she has to check their email every morning. Did you know that your child has an email? Every student, even kindergartners, have an email in Newton County that they will have through 12th grade if they say 12th grade. So if they know that their teacher has told them, I know my 4th graders, that was one of their very first things. They were supposed to check their inbox when they came in the morning. That was part of their morning routine. Check your inbox for messages from Ms. Smith. So that you could actually set that to auto launch. And what's that will do is whenever it opens up, instead of opening up to the dashboard, it's going to launch email in a separate tab for your student so that it's already up and running for them and ready to go. And they can just toggle between the tabs at the top of the bar up here. All right, so recapping, we have our favorites list. You can build it and make a little tray down here to add to make easy access. You can also, if you know, every day I'm going to be in my Google Drive, just set it to auto launch. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Set auto launch. Whenever I open my dashboard, it's going to automatically launch my Google Drive for me so that I can already have it open and going for me. All right. The next thing, let's say favorites. You tried it, it didn't work, right? We have to try lots of different binders, lots of different systems. Maybe your kid is not a favorite kid. That's okay. I got another strategy for you. It is called edit mode. And does everyone see this little pencil? I'm hovering over at the top left. Thumbs up. You see it? Yeah. Yeah. I see a head shaking. I'll take a head shake. That's great. You can add a folder. So literally, I want to call this science. Science. Anyone ever go to trivia? Oh, did you guys know we're having trivia? There's trivia coming. So much fun. I love trivia. It's so much fun. So your child can actually create a folder right here. I'm going to call it science. And I'm a color stickler. And for some reason, I just always associate green with science. I don't know. Is it just me? I don't know. Okay. Well, they can actually color the folder, whatever color they want it to be, set it, create it. Now you see my green science folder up here. I'm going to look through and grab all of my science apps. And I'm going to place them in that folder. What? Look at this. Now it's going to be way easier for me to go when I'm in science class to grab my science apps. Or maybe I want to do another folder that says working, like the things that I do when I'm working. And when I think about working, I think about my favorite color. My favorite color is purple. Yep, it's that color. That's my favorite color. So now I'm going to have a working, which apps do I do most of my work in? Because I want them readily available. And if you notice, sometimes I have to it'll jump around. You can just keep moving, keep moving. So I do a lot of my work in emails. Oops, just grab it, put it in there. I do a lot of my work in Google Drive, put it there. And then I also do a lot of my work in Book Creator and Adobe Spark. So those are my working apps. You get the idea. You could do a math one. You could do first period, second period, third period, or you could do all classes. Maybe those things that you use for all classes like Google and Canvas could be your auto launch. And then you have first period, second period, third period. However your child wants to organize their dashboard, it's totally up to them. All right, I'm going to be quiet for a second. Any questions? Did you see something that you think would be beneficial for your kid? Do I need to go over anything before I move on to the next piece? Or you can give me a thumbs up and say, yep, Misty, I got it. Oh, come on, guys. Don't be shy. We're all friends here. Oh, my gosh. Look how big we got. Look, thank you, Miss Teague. I appreciate that thumbs up. Awesome. Thank you. Oh, I'm going to say Eric because I don't want to mess up your last name. I apologize. So I'm going to say Eric. All right. Nice, guys. So those are ways to organize your apps. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the thumbs up. Our next thing that we're going to move on to is your student profile. This is so cool. I really, really like this. If you go over here, you'll see there's my son, Connor Smith, and I'm going to click Settings. So in his settings, there are some things that he or she, your child, will not be able to change. You can also see their email address. So you could actually email them when they're at school too. You see there's several languages you can choose from. And then up here where it says themes, or they could actually add a profile picture here as well. So if you click there, it gives them a few random profile pictures to choose from. When I go to themes, you have some options. So there's a classic theme, which is what you saw earlier. If I change it to primary, this is what it looks like. So it looks a little bit cleaner, got a little bit bigger, a little bit brighter. You can also choose to do professional. Makes it a little smaller, still bright, kind of cleans it up a little bit. And if you don't, you could also use any combination of these. You can do really large apps. Maybe your student has vision issues, or you just want the apps to be a little bit bigger so you can see them. I mean, we do have kids, so we might be getting to that age. I don't know. But these are all options, and you can use them in conjunction with each other. One of my favorite pieces, because I'm not a bright, like I don't like bright things, I love the contrasting behind here. Again, these are all things that you can adjust and change whenever your student is ready. He or she can do this on their own and change anytime they want to. So I'm going to set Connor's back to the way he had it because I don't want him to get angry with me. And then you can also, if you look over here at the app name, right now it's just regular text. You can actually change it to shadow text, which just makes it look a little bit different. Not that big of a difference, to be honest with you. When you on contrast, but if you take the contrast off, you can see it just gives it a little outline. They can also change the Padlet, the background. So you can change it to red. If you see the changing in the back here, they can change it to purple, whatever their favorite color is, you can do that. And then this is auto launch. You know, I showed you how to right click and do it. You could also do that here. So if you wanted Google to auto launch when you opened your dashboard, you would just click and then toggle it on, and then you would see that it's enabled. So whenever your child opens up MyLaunchpad, it will automatically go to Google as well. All right, I'm going to stop for a second. Are we good? Just to recap, what have we been over? We've been over right-clicking and adding to your favorites bar down here for easy access during class. That's not what your child likes. It also does give it a star, so it kind of stands out a little bit. You can go into edit mode and create those folders. You can even change the folders. Now, the next thing that, and then we went over their settings and their profile. They can change their themes, app size, font, and contrast, and their palette in the back to their likings. They can also add different apps to their auto launch. Probably want to stick to no more than 2 or 3 on that though, so you don't have so many web browsers open. And now the very last thing that we're going to go to is called, or actually I didn't have this on my list to go over, but we can go over that too. This is their backpack. So when I click on my backpack, this is where you might see a teacher who uses ClassLink to send announcements. You'll see announcements here. This is my child's actual course. These are the courses that he is currently taking. You have 2 views up here. So this is in a list view, and then this is a grid view. I like the tile or grid view. It's just preference, whatever you like. And teachers have specifically put in, or if, for instance, like IXL is for language and it's for math, so you'll see IXL pop up in several of the rooms. So for AP English, there are no announcements. And if I go down to apps, these are the apps potentially that Connor uses in his AP English specifically that Ms. Lazenby sent to him. Again, just a disclaimer, not every teacher has that set up. Some of these are just auto made. For instance, maybe your student can't get into something, you could come here and just check under the apps on the left-hand side. Savvis is specific to science. So that's why this one was here. We didn't see it in the other tile because this is specific to science. So you will see those specific apps for each course in the backpack. Also, again, you can switch between the tiles or the grid and the list view. You can also see, I'm the world's worst now that my kids are in high school. I always forget their teachers' names. Perfect place. I can go right here and see their names. You know, or you could ask your kid either way, but just a little bit of their backpack. All right, I'm going to be quiet. Any questions? I'm going to check chat. I see 2 people on chat. Yep, got it. Nice, 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 nice. And then the one thing that I didn't have on our list that I saw over here was my analytics. Maybe your child is at home and you want to make sure, you know, there's quarantining, and like people are being quarantined sometimes. You want to make sure that they logged on and did their work or whatever. You can actually go into their analytics and see how many times they logged in. You can see which apps they have been on. And remember, I told you Canvas was going to be a big one. Connor's he's spent 82 hours on Canvas. Huge. So this would be a great place to start to favorites too. So if your child is like a K-8 kid, maybe go in here, check their analytics out and see which apps they're using the most. Those would be the ones that I would favorite or star or put in those folders for them to have easy access to. So you can see, you can even go back and search specific days. Maybe you're saying he or she did something on, you know, September the 10th. And because that was a half day and the teacher's like, no, I didn't see him or her. You could go right here and look at this and see all of his or her analytics, what they've been doing through their dashboard.